Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. We are starting chapter 8. It's titled Lying, Loving, and People Pleasing. The subtitle is On Flattery and Speaking the Truth in Love. And there's a quote here by Aesop. In trying to please all, he had pleased none. All right, let's jump into this and see how much we can get done for part 1. I was struck early with what has been called the disease to please. While there might be a variety of reasons men and women come down with this sickness, still the symptoms are eerily similar. The disease to please causes you to tell your mother-in-law how wonderful her lima bean casserole is, when in reality all you want to do is spit into your napkin when no one is looking. The disease to please makes you tell your best friend that the new pastel ruffled skirt she is wearing makes her look oh so slim, when the truth is it makes her look like a puffy pink lampshade, better suited to a baby nursery. The disease to please beckons you to assure your husband he still is strikingly handsome and youthful looking, even though most of his hair is gone. Well, maybe that is attributed more to your love for him than to this disease. This serious illness makes you say all kinds of untruths with a smile on your face just to make someone else feel good or to get their approval or win them over as a friend. But even though others may walk away from the conversation feeling good, sometimes we ourselves feel bad. In fact, we are sure that we have just lied. But is this lying justified? There is a tension we have to manage in situations like this. It's the tension between saying what is 100% true and being kind or considerate. People-pleasing ramps up this tension. You want to be liked and accepted. However, you also know you should speak the truth. When you fear the truth may sting a little, you are tempted to tweak that truth ever so slightly, or more than slightly. Now what you are left with is a half-truth at best. But as we teach our children, a half-truth is still a whole lie. People-pleasing has landed me in a heap of trouble on several occasions. Whether it was wanting to please the popular crowd in school, or hoping to find favor with the pastor's wife at the church where my husband just came on staff, I often whipped out my verbal charcoal pencil and shaded the truth just enough to morph it into something I knew someone else wanted to hear. Take, for instance, the case of the klutzy cheerleader. Throughout my adult life, I have been involved in either coaching or judging both cheerleading and dance squads. The competitions are fun to watch, and just being around them makes me feel young. Each time I come away from an event, I'm just sure I can still do a round-off back handspring. But I know better than to try. I don't want to end up in the local ER as the crazy middle-aged woman who thought she still had it but found out it was long gone. Once during my coaching days, a friend decided that her daughter would make a fabulous cheerleader. Her girl had always dreamed of donning one of the red and white uniforms worn by the team of chanting girls, so this mama encouraged her to try out that spring. At practice, the girls worked on the cheers and stunts required for tryouts. As I made my way around the school cafeteria, checking on the various groups who were practicing their routines, I came upon the group that my friend's daughter was in. I had them line up for their cheer and perform it for me. This particular cheer contained lots of jumps and kicks and intricate movements with the hands and feet, because having a cheer that encompassed all of the required components was the easiest way to select the best 10 girls for the squad. As I watched my friend's daughter attempt to keep up with the rest of the group, my heart sank. Not only did she lack rhythm and skill, her facial expressions betrayed her exertion as she tried desperately to complete all the maneuvers. It was a cartwheel and pom-pom train wreck. A few days later, I ran into my friend. She asked how her daughter was doing at the practices. She told me what a fabulous time her daughter was having and how her hopes were set so high on being chosen as one of the 10 girls to make the squad. I wanted to be honest with my friend, really I did. But I also wanted her to like me and not be offended by how I might answer. Every fiber of my being wanted to speak the truth, which in its raw form was something like this. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your daughter does not have what it takes to make the squad. She tries her very best, but simply can't keep up. In fact, of all the girls trying out, she's probably the worst, and there is no way she will be chosen once the judges panel gets to look at her. That is what I wanted to say, but I knew it was too harsh, and I feared it might make her want to ditch me as a friend if I said it. Instead, I aligned my thoughts for a moment and then spit out something vaguely complimentary along these lines. Wow, your daughter sure is a hard worker when she wants something really bad. She is doing a great job trying to learn all of the routines to be ready for tryouts. Because I didn't say she was skilled, my friend probed further. Well, do you think she's going to make it? Oh, no. I was being asked such a straightforward question to which the only answers were the words yes or no. I did some quick thinking and then finally blurted out, well, since I am the coach of the team, I really shouldn't be commenting on that. What if it got around to the other parents? Besides, I don't select the squad. I have a panel of 4 judges come in from out of the district to keep everything fair. Just tell her to keep working hard. I'm sure everything will turn out just fine. Ugh. While I was trying frantically to navigate this verbal slippery slope, my friend was trying to read between the lines. Apparently, the conclusion she came to was this. I thought her daughter was fabulous, but just didn't want to say out loud to her for fear of it leaking out. Her daughter continued to show up to tryouts each and every day for 2 weeks, and she didn't improve one single bit. When the day of tryouts came, the girls, all in their berry-boned ponytails and sparkling clean sneakers, filed into the gymnasium. They performed in groups and also alone. When it came time for my friend's daughter to appear in a group in front of the judges, it was quickly apparent she just could not cut it. Her motions were behind the timing of the other girls, and when they performed a jump or stunt, she nearly fell over. Her solo appearance was even worse. She tried so very hard, bless her heart, and the expressions on her face showed it. Instead of looking like she was leading a crowd of cheering fans, she looked like she was trying to pass a kidney stone. Some of the other girls began to giggle. I shot them a look to try to get them to stop, but it only made things worse. You know how it is when something seems so funny that you just simply cannot contain your laughter? Then the giggles become contagious and jump from person to person till you have a snickering mob on your hands. This was one of those times. Luckily, my friend's daughter was nearly done, and so she finished her individual cheer and then went and sat on the sidelines, where the laughing had fortunately died down. When tryouts were finished and the scores were tallied, this brave girl was not one of the names called off for the new cheerleading squad. She burst into tears and quickly gathered her backpack and jacket and went into the parking lot to wait for her mom to pick her up. My heart sank as I saw her standing on the curb, shoulders heaving up and down with uncontrollable sobs. I wanted to go out and put my arm around her, but I didn't. Instead, I sat inside the now empty gymnasium, mentally beating myself up. Why didn't you tell her mom the truth, even if it meant she wouldn't like you anymore? Maybe if you had been straightforward with her, this would never have happened. A few days later, I talked with my mom. She said her daughter had had a rough night after the tryouts. What did I say? A few days later, I talked with her mom. She said her daughter had had a rough night after the tryouts, but since then seemed to have perked up a bit. I tried to console her because I could tell her mama heart was hurt to see her baby so disappointed. I sat silently praying that she would not ask me my opinion about her daughter's cheerleading skills, but she did. She wondered if I thought the judges had made the right decision by cutting her from the squad. As painful as it was, this time I told her the truth, agreeing with the judges and softening the verdict with a lot of words about so many talented girls coming out for the squad this year. We finished our conversation and each went on our way. However, that whole incident caused me to rethink what I say and how and why I say it. If only I had been brave enough to gently tell her my opinion of her daughter's cheerleading skills, perhaps she would have discussed with her daughter the likelihood of making the cut and whether trying out was a risk she wanted to take. Perhaps then the girl would have pursued a different interest, one that she was proficient at. I won't ever know for sure, but I can't help but wonder if speaking the truth in love that day might have saved this sweet young thing embarrassment and emotional devastation. My people-pleasing ways caused quite a mess back then. It also caused me to shade the truth in an effort to keep a friend. Even though it is still so hard for me to do, I attempt to tell the truth gently. I try not to allow the fear of being straightforward, and thus possibly making someone unfriend me in real life, make me tell a twisted half-truth, or worse yet, an all-out lie. We'll stop right there for today, and I hope you've all had a very wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow on the next one for part 2 of Chapter 8. Hope you all had a great day, everybody. Bye!